Hello and welcome to today's Meet the Charity. I'm Laura Augustine, volunteering and admin assistant for Action Together Rochdale team, and today I'm joined by Nicola Keogh, volunteer and community champions team lead for the Big Life group. Hi Nicola.
Hiya.
Hello. Nicola has joined us today to talk about the charity, what they do, the services they offer, and how you can get involved and support as a volunteer. So if you're happy to start, I will start. So could you tell me a little bit about the Big Life group, the work you do and the people you support?
Yes, so the Big Life group is a North-wide charity. Living Well Rochdale is our local arm. So Living Well is basically made up of coaches, oral health, trainers and community champions, which are volunteers, which is the team I manage. So I'll just briefly go through the other services. So basically we're a prevention service, and we support people to make lifestyle changes so that they'll grow older healthily. So things like lose weight, stop smoking, more exercise, and coaches will work with people up to a set amount of time to make goals and help them to achieve those goals. We've got an oral health offer, so we've got a team that will come out and can go to people's homes to talk about oral health, but this is a referral pathway. It isn't something that somebody could just ring up and request. We've also got a training arm, so we are delivering train-the-trainer sessions to other organisations and charities where we will train staff to support their staff and residents with lifestyle changes. So if anybody wanted to do that as another organisation, we can train your staff and volunteers to support the prevention agenda. So the community champions are volunteers. They're from all different walks of life. They're all expert by lived experience or by profession, and they might be retired or part-time. We basically help people to get to the services that they need. At the moment, most of the offer is around money advice. If people are in a mess, we'll support them as much as we can, and then we'll refer them on to CAB or step change, but it's quite hand-holding. We'll support people to fill out forms, make sure they're on the right benefits, advise how to complete forms. We don't fill out forms for them, but we've also been advocates for things like housing and adult care. Like I say, we just want really nice people who want to listen to somebody who've got a bit more time than the usual professional, and who can basically introduce you to the service and handhold you in. And we've also got chatters. We've got a couple of paid chatters in my team, and we've got the volunteer chatters, so they will ring people once a week, twice a week sometimes, and literally chat. There's no goal setting or anything. It's just for people that are isolated. If they then want to go out and meet in the community at cafes or other public venues, we can do that as well. So really that's us in a nutshell.
That's excellent, and I must say your training offer is very, very good. So yeah, if anyone is after training, then I would definitely take you up on that offer. Whereabouts is Living Well based, Nicola?
So we are a borough-wide service, but our offices are based on Oldham Road in Rochdale, a building called Lock 50. But we do work out of a lot of venues in the borough. So, for example, community centres, the Skills and Work Hub in Haywood, all over really, and we don't mind coming anywhere.
No, that's great. It's really, really great. So you mentioned a bit about the community champions and the chatters that you currently have roles available for. I can imagine you have quite a lot of champions at the moment. How many champions on average do you have, would you say?
At the moment we've got a lot. We've got 173. Yeah. Wow. We normally have about 120. It went up during the pandemic because we had a lot of new people supporting at the vaccine sites and the test centres, but a lot of those were people on furlough, so they've gone back to work. So it's dropping down to our usual, but yeah, around 120. Wow,
that's a really, really lot. But it's great. I mean, it must be needed more than ever now with the cost of living crisis as well. That's currently happening. So I bet you're quite swamped. So on average, would you say the community champions or the chatters, how many hours would they usually give a week for the role on average?
We ask for an hour a week and anything above that. So we do have people who have one client who they will support every week, and that's it. And then we've got other champions. For example, Jan, who was in the office yesterday and basically did a full day doing a bit of a surgery type thing. So so some people it's like a full-time job, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so it's very flexible then, so they can do basically as much or as little as they want, but as long as it's at least an hour a week.
Everything we do is volunteer led. So any changes we make, any training that are offered to champions, it's all done in agreement with them. And if they have their own ideas of setting up a group, or I think there's a gap somewhere, we'll do our very best to support them to help people that they want to help, basically.
Oh, that's excellent. It's excellent how you concentrate on their sort of their development and you know where they want to go as well. So that's really, really good. You touched on training. Are there any specific skills, training or qualifications required to be a champion or a chatter?
No, basically we just want people to be enthusiastic and willing to support people. Once we've done our induction, where we do the usual policies and procedures and DBS check, and people can people have to do we call it strength-based training. Some people call it asset-based, but it's basically supporting people to focus on their own strengths and build on it. And then we have various kind of introduction to mental health courses that we want champions to be on. But then after that, depending on what they want to do, they can do any training. So if they want to do debt management, we can support them to do that. Coaching, counselling. If we can, we'll support towards a cost of training. But we do link in really well with the skills and work team at Rochdale Council and other training providers. And also our community champions get the same training as staff members in the Big Life group. So we've done a lot around DV, drug and alcohol, trauma informed work. A bit of everything really. There's too much to mention.
Oh, that's really great. It's great how the volunteers and the staff get the same sort of level of training as well. It's a huge benefit to any role. So how can volunteers usually apply for these roles? Where would you kind of advertise?
So we're on the Action Together website, so anybody can access it through there, or they can just contact Living Well directly, and whoever picks up the phone will get to my team.
And their contact details on your website? Yeah, which we'll mention at the end as well. That's great. So do you offer expenses a part of the volunteers sort of roles?
Yeah, so any expenses that volunteers incur, we will reimburse.
Oh, that's great. That's great. You've mentioned DBS checks already, so that's all volunteers, no matter what they're doing, they'll need the DBS. That's excellent. So how do you kind of support volunteers in the volunteering roles whilst they're volunteering?
We do regular supervisions, and we have regular kind of meetings, network meetings for those people that want to get together. We have weekly champ chats, so again that's champions getting together to support each other. We've got a WhatsApp group, again that's where we share information, and people, if they're with a client and they're a bit stuck, they'll put it on the WhatsApp group and the other champions will chip in, or we will as the paid staff. So we see some champions literally 2 or 3 times a week. Others we just see because they just like to do their own thing. They don't want to socialise, if you like, in a bigger team, but they're happy doing what they do, and we always keep in touch. And every time somebody's met with a client or done anything, we always ask for a little bit of feedback from them.
Oh, that's good. That's really great. And I know what you mean about the volunteers. Not everyone wants to be a part of the sort of bigger group things. But as long as they're happy and supported, then that's all that matters. Do you do anything for your volunteers in terms of showing appreciation for them? Do you do like any kind of thank you events or things like that?
Yeah, so I like to think that as much as we can, we always say thank you to our volunteers on a regular basis for what they do. But the Big Life group always has a big glitzy volunteer celebration, and it's usually at a nice venue. So the one this year in June was at the Etihad Stadium in the Chairman's Suite. So we had a tour of the stadium and then a nice lunch. In the past, we've had various hotels, but it's always a bit of a glitzy do. And then us in Rochdale like to have a bit of a Christmas do and a summer do, where we always just say thank you. And we like to, treat people at Christmas as much as we can, depending on budget, of course.
Of course. Oh, that's excellent. And I do agree. Saying thank you is the most important. I think it's the most important, the most appreciated thing that you can do for a volunteer. In terms of sort of your services that you offer, so not on volunteering now, but if someone needs your services to support them personally, how would they get in touch, or do they self-refer into your services?
They can self-refer, or they could go if they're already with another worker. That worker could refer in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So the voluntary opportunities you mentioned are currently on the Action Together website, which is actiontogether.org.uk. If you're not currently registered as a volunteer, you can register to become a volunteer, and then you're able to apply directly on our website for the roles that Living Well currently have on offer. If I will give you my email address, it's laura.augustine@actiontogether.org.uk if you wish to get in touch for any further information. Nicola, would you like to share your email address?
Yeah, so it's nicola.keogh@thebiglifegroup.com.
Excellent. And would you have your website address, sorry, as well?
Group.
www.livingwellrochdale.com. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
That's the Rochdale one, yeah. So on there you can find out all about Living Well, the directory of the services. You can download referral forms. It has a lot of information on the website as to what it is they do regarding stopping smoking, losing weight, getting more active, and also living life to the full, which is very important. So do check that out. And also information on how to get more active, which I think is something everybody needs after the pandemic. Is there any other information you'd like to add, Nicola, before we close the interview?
The other thing I was just thinking about, we do have walk leaders as well. So our volunteers, we train people, and we've got walks again all over the borough. So we've got short walks in sort of urban areas, and then we've got long, more rambler type walks up like around Hollingworth Lake, for example. So I think there's about 30 a week. So if anybody wanted to be trained to lead a walk, they can, or if anybody just wanted to join in and have a chat.
That's great.
They're on our website too.
Oh, that's excellent. So head to the website and you'll be able to find all the information you need. But yeah, thank you very much, Nicola, for joining us today. It's been great.
Welcome.
And I'll finish the interview.